I don't even know what about it is scary. I think it's letting go of what was familiar, what was comfortable. And yet I've been in this transitional period where he's slowly been stripping me away from what was familiar, what was comfortable. So as I continue to press forward and walk and on a daily try to be obedient, work to be obedient, work to be faithful, work to be consistent, work work to be in alignment with God, it's not easy. And yet on the other side of it, what's not easy, what's even harder, more so, is being out of alignment with God. Happy New Year! Welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Marquise Brown. The video that you're going to see is an impromptu stream of thought. We're just chatting, you know? So I'm leaving a timestamp on screen for future reference. And to know me is to know I love a timestamp. I'm going to cut out some ramblings and add some text on screen for reference. And I'm also doing this out of faith. I'm doing this because it makes me extremely uncomfortable, but I recognize that God is getting me out of my comfort zone to move me into his zone. So here we are. And I'm trusting that in this new season, in this new year, in this new time, in this new move of faith, that God is going to continue to do something powerfully miraculous as he does and as he has been doing. And I pray that if you are here and you're watching this video, it helps you in some way. I thank you for being here. I truly appreciate you. Let's do this. Let's get into it. Okay, let's try again. I am finding myself internally frustrated. Really, I feel like there's a bit of me that has been hiding, another bit of me that has been experiencing a lot of grief and having to deal with, like, what does that even mean? And even as I say that right now, I feel like I want to cry. And I have been experiencing a lot of grief, and grief in more ways than I have been even accustomed to prior to this moment. Family transitioning, life as I knew it transitioning, having to grieve older versions of myself in order to become a different version of myself. And in some cases, like, it's fantastic. And in other cases, it's been really challenging to even sort through that landscape. I was trying to shoot this outfit photo / video, and I felt so weird in the process. And I was trying to figure out within myself, what's going on? Like, why do I feel so uncomfortable? Is it showing up on camera? No, like that's not the issue. It was a part of my question as I'm trying to figure out what was going on, but that wasn't the issue. I don't have a challenge showing up on camera. What I have a challenge is now I'm realizing is that I am trying to do old things with a new perspective. As I dug deeper into that, I feel like I'm being stretched, and in the Bible it talks about new wineskins. It's like I feel like God is reshaping me, reforming me, renewing my mind, and I'm having to adjust accordingly. And so there are parts of myself that are having to reconcile with what's happening, where I'm going, what's new, what I can't do, what I don't value anymore. And in the process of doing that, it feels uncomfortable. And so I feel like I'm in this season of, it's not easy. It feels challenging, and it's challenging in a great way, but also challenging because I have done things for so long and felt comfortable in doing it. And now on this side of things, I can no longer do the same things I was doing because I feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable. Like, there are certain things I just know I can't do anymore. Like, example, getting an attitude and shutting down. Like, I can, but that doesn't help. As I say that I want to build a strong, healthy relationship, I want to have good relationships with the people that I care about. I just want to have good relationships in general with people. Me shutting down does not help. It doesn't add to a collective collaboration, a collaborative communication. That's what it is. It doesn't help. It doesn't add to collaborative communication. What it does is breaks down communication. And I don't want to do that. So, like, that's just an example, but there are other things within my life that I've recognized that I no longer can do the same. What I care more about are conversations. What I care more about is the newsletter that I'm working on, or the newsletter that I have. It's not even that I'm working on it, but the newsletter that I have, it's called Inner Dialogue, Outer Expressions. And I care about developing this business that I know that God has brought me into, because honey, if you would have asked me, if you would have told me years ago that I'd have my own business, it'd be like, yeah, okay, because of acting. And now it's like, okay, no, it's bigger than that. And having to just even assess, well, what the heck does that mean? Because, huh? And yet, as the days tick away and as I have more time being introspective and considering, what does that mean? What does that look like? What's internally, innately, instinctively coming to me? What is my spirit guiding me to do? I'm just kind of doing things. And yet there also has to be in my mind, I feel like I have to have this clear understanding of why it is that I'm doing certain things. And yet here we are. Who knows if I'll actually use this? I don't know, but I'm enjoying this process of figuring it out. Some days I say that and I'm like, no, girl, because there are certain days I do not feel like I'm enjoying the process. I feel agitated. And I also consider how these locks, whatever, stay focused. I also I also consider how the agitation is necessary. Like sometimes, oh my gosh, it makes me think of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire. And like, who wants to be put in fire? No one. And yet these three were tossed in the fire. One, because they wouldn't deny God. And then even like the fire was so hot, the guards throwing them into the fire burned. So now these three are in the fire walking around. And when they looked in, there were 4 people in the fire. And they're also bound. Let's just say that too. The 3 of them were bound as they were thrown in the fire. So not only did they become unbound, they were also then walking around in the fire. And then when they looked in, there was a 4th person walking around in the fire. So it's like, you're not alone. In the discomfort, you're not alone. In the transition, you're not alone. In the fire. In this moment, I'm being reminded, like, I'm not in the fire by myself. And yet I also thought I did this already. Like, didn't we do this already? Didn't I go through the fire? And it's like, okay, so I did. Yeah. So this is a new one. Yeah. So this is a new trial. This is a new stretch. This is, shoot, new wine. You can't pour new wine in old wineskins. You can't pour new wine in old wineskins. And God is trying to give me a new wine, and I'm trying to get it. I'm like trying to make it fit in old wineskins. And it's like, no, that's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You can't pour new wine in old wineskins, because you know what happens? It bursts those wineskins. And now God is trying to give me new wine that I'm trying to put in old wineskins. So no, girl, of course it's uncomfortable. Of course I'm agitated. Of course I'm uncomfortable. I said that already, but of course I feel uneasy, because God is stretching me. He's renewing my mind, and doggone it, I can't do the same things. And I want to, like, here, look at these things. Look at this. Like, back here, I want to do the same things, and yet, like, somewhere between here and here, it's like, no, and here, I can't do the same things. I'm called to do something new, something different, something true. Last night, I was in the bathroom, and I'm like, this is like my new prayer closet. I was talking to God. I'm like, listen, like, let's just treat this like my prayer closet. And I came out of the bathroom, and I thought, God is trying to tell you who you are in a world that tries to show you who you should be. God is trying to tell you who you are in a world that is trying to show you who you should be. Who am I going to listen to? Who are you going to listen to? I'm going to listen to God. I've asked God, show me how you see me. And then when I prayed it, I felt so desperate to know, like, God, I don't know anymore. Because the way that I once saw myself, I no longer see myself as that. So now I need you to tell me how you see me, how you've made me, how you've created me, so that I can move accordingly, because I know what I used to do, I can't do any longer. It doesn't even hit the same. It doesn't even feel the same. I don't value it the same. And that's for a good reason, because I know that God is calling me to do something new, something true. Before, it was like, I don't think that it was untrue. I just think that I can't even say, I was going to say, I think I didn't know better, but I don't think it's that. I think I just wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready. And I, for the longest, have imagined God to love with open arms. It's like, just picture God being like, yes, you have free will to come and go. And when you come, he's like, yes, baby, I got you. And then you start nudging. He's like, all right, hey. But he loves with open arms. And I love that visual of God, because it makes me feel protected. It makes me feel cared for. It makes me feel considered. It makes me feel safe. It makes me feel like I'm choosing God. And God chooses me, and he's open. I love that. But as I say, God wants to tell you and remind you who you are in a world that tries to show you who you should be. I think of Gideon, and God told Gideon to go and fight somewhere. And Gideon was like, but God, I this. And he called him a mighty man of valor. It's like, what is God trying to call you? What is God trying to show you? What is God trying to tell you about you that you may not believe? This is how people start crying on camera. I know that God is calling me to do something bigger. And I'm going to be real. It's scary. And I don't even know what about it is scary. I think it's letting go of what was familiar, what was comfortable. And yet I've been in this transitional period where he's slowly been stripping me away from what was familiar, what was comfortable. So as I continue to press forward and walk and on a daily try to be obedient, work to be obedient, work to be faithful, work to be consistent, work to be in alignment with God, it's not easy. And yet on the other side of it, what's not easy, what's even harder, more so, is being out of alignment with God. That's harder. Because when I wasn't in relationship with God, I knew God, I loved God, I believed in God wholeheartedly. But my relationship with God was not what it is now. Was not what it, my relationship with God was different then than it is now. I have a relationship with God now. I'm talking to God in the bathroom, talking about this is gonna be our prayer closet. You know, it's like that's it's like that intimacy of knowing that I can talk to God. However, because God is not a man that he should lie. God is not a man. God is not a human. God is God. God is God. Period. I think we've conceived this idea of a man. Some people have conceived this idea of a man in the sky because they're just trying to contrive what this being looks like. I think we've been given the pronouns of he, his, because we need to have this idea as humans to get a better understanding of this being that is I am who I am. That's God. You know what I mean? Like we just like we can't conceive it. So therefore, we've been given things so that to help us have a better visual, I truly believe, to help us have a better connection, make connection, because we're humans. We don't know. We're spiritual beings having a physical experience in this world, on this earth. Oh my gosh. Even Gideon, going back to that, when he said, go do this thing, he was like, but God. And he was like, go in the strength you have. Even that idea of like, I don't know. I don't know. And yet it is go in the strength you have. Go with what you have. God will use what you have. But you have to be faithful and trust him enough that he will use what you have, because he will. If he's calling you to something, God will use what you have. He's not asking you, hey, do you think that you have da-da-da? No, he knows what you have. There's no need to tell God, like, hey, I don't have it. I don't know. It's like, no, he knows what you have. He knows you. That's the part I keep reminding myself. It's like, he knows you. There's no question about it. He knew you before he formed you in your mother's womb. He knows you. So as I wrestle with myself, but also trying to understand what God is doing, it's like sometimes you just don't understand, but he knows. Sometimes he'll give you stepping stones, not even sometimes, he'll give you stepping stone to lead you to in a different direction on a path. He will make your crooked path straight. He knows. So learning to be in silence so that you have time to listen because he knows you is so necessary. Ah, my gosh. Yeah, I don't have much more to say. I think that's really what I wanted to get off my chest. I'm kind of tickled because maybe a few weeks ago, could have been last month or so, it was like, I feel weird saying I heard, because it's like, it's not like this like voice here, it's just more of like internally. I just sensed, I'll say, that I should go live. And I'm like, I hear it. And when it came to me, I'm like, okay, I can do this. And then I kept thinking, I'm like, I don't know, like, go live and do what? And sometimes I've also recognized that sometimes you can't, when you sense something, I'm learning more so. When I sense something, I'm learning how to keep my mouth shut, because I want to involve the people in proximity, close proximity to me. I want to involve the people that are close to me. Sometimes I want to share, like, oh yeah, I sense this thing. And they have questions. Understandably so. Shoot, I have questions. Understandably so. And even with that, I'm like, sometimes when you expose what is sensed within you to other people who did not get that same sense, who don't have the same sensibilities, the same sensitivities, who don't have the same senses as you, it can alter your perspective. It can alter your perception. It can alter your actions if you're not careful. And this is no shade to the people that are and they're to your people, not at all. It's just learning how to be obedient and sometimes being quiet. Sometimes just keeping that between you and God and just doing it and not feeling like you have to explain anything. Like I have felt like I have to explain something, or because I get excited and I want to share this thing and now I'm being asked like, well, why, or what are you going to talk about, or what are you going to do? I don't know. I'm just going to do it and see what happens. And sometimes you don't have to have all the answers. I mean, because clearly I can get on camera and I can just chit chat. Here for a good chit chat. Since I was a kid, I went to school to chit chat. You know, the educational part that's great, helpful, necessary. And yet I've been chatty keys for a long time. Like, there's nothing new about that. As I just crossed my legs, got even more comfortable. So maybe I'm saying this as in having the revelation to myself, and I'm coming back to it of like, just do it. And maybe this is what live looks like. It's popping on the camera and talking, and people will either appreciate it or they won't. It'll connect with who it's supposed to connect with. I'm just having a conscious stream of thought, and I don't even know if I'm going to edit this or use it. I probably will use it. I hope I use it. I need to use it. It's not even like I hope, I just need to, because I've also been finding myself, because I don't know. I posted a video a while ago. At this point, it's 20 minutes. Wow. I posted a video on YouTube sometime, I think this year. And I'm like, God is doing a new thing, and I can feel it, and like, lean on your own understanding. And it's like, yeah, I've been trying to lean on my own understanding, because I'm like, I don't know. I'm just doing. And yet reading and hearing everybody else figuring out what they're doing, I've been stopped by the question of why, and I don't know. And at this point, I have a better understanding of why, and yet there's still part of it that I don't know, and having to be okay with that. So I appreciate you for watching, for listening. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. And it's not even, it's like I'm gonna learn as I go. It'll be figured out in the process. It'll be understood more so in the process. Like, God is doing a new thing, and I can feel it, I can sense it, I can perceive it. And I have to trust God. I have to trust my senses. And yeah, if you can relate to this, resonate with this, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts if you've experienced this, if you've been experiencing this in this season of your life. It's gonna be all right. It's also seasonal. You know, it's seasonal. Trouble don't last always. Uneasiness doesn't last always. And I smile because I'm also being reminded to, like, be content, be grateful. Be grateful that God cares enough to stretch me, to give me new wine, to give me new wine and a new wine skin. Because he doesn't have to. God, there's a scripture about this, but like, God reprimands the ones that he cares for, he loves. Something like this. And I'll put it on the screen. Okay. That's it, because I can keep talking, and we're already at 22 minutes, so, you know. Thanks for being here. It'll be figured out. Until next time.